Welcome back, everybody. And today we're going to be talking about why Microsoft is bringing on the AI revolution. So, if you're excited, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video to other people. But without further ado, let's get started. So, to understand how Microsoft is bringing upon this AI revolution, we need to understand the history. So, Microsoft started in 1975, and the most famous person we kind of denote Microsoft with is Bill Gates, and he was the founder of this company. Primarily, Microsoft began as a personal computing company, and now it has become more like a SaaS company, software as a service, because they provide a lot of their tools on the cloud now, whether it be Microsoft 365 or any other suite products. And the main goal of this company, until this day, their mission statement is they want to empower others by providing tools. So whether it be in the personal computing space, productivity and business, or intelligent cloud services. Besides just productivity, right? Microsoft also owns the Xbox, right? One of the biggest gaming consoles besides the PlayStation. And this is a step in personal computing, as it provides personal computing for gamers, right? Specifically for different kinds of games. But Microsoft is also a big company when it comes to acquisitions, right? It has become a powerhouse in the tech industry because of its acquisitions. So one of the main acquisitions that Microsoft has is GitHub, right? GitHub is a version control software for developers all around the world. And it's so important that almost every company these days at least has some kind of open source on GitHub. And that, again, is part of their mission statement, as they're empowering developers, right? Same thing, Microsoft also acquired LinkedIn. LinkedIn is empowering others to find jobs. So it's helping people with employment, and it's connecting recruiters online with their employees that they're looking for. But nowadays, the funny thing is LinkedIn, a lot of people just use LinkedIn to stalk their friends and see what they're doing. But it's a great resource for people, and it's been empowering a lot of people in terms of getting employment. However, the biggest investment Microsoft has made so far might be the one in OpenAI. Since 2019, Microsoft has invested in OpenAI, which was founded by Elon Musk and Sam Altman. And Sam Altman is the current CEO. For those people that have been living under a rock, OpenAI is a research-based AI company that created ChatGPT. Yeah, that thing I know that you use to cheat on your homework or write an email to your boss. I know that. I know you do that. But yeah, ChatGPT was the fastest to hit 100 million monthly active users until it was beaten by Threads. But let's be real here, Threads is dead, so I'll just assume GPT owns that crown. So the investment in OpenAI is an attempt for Microsoft to combat Google in the AI race. In the public view, right, Microsoft hasn't had as much innovation in the recent years like other big tech companies like Google and Apple, right? Google's got their Pixels, their other, search, maps, all these kind of other features that they give, or services that they provide. Same thing with Apple, right? They have their iPhones, their watches, Apple Watches, Macs even, right? They have innovations year to year, right? Microsoft isn't just like that. So this shift from Microsoft to go, from just, providing like consumer tools, right, for productivity to AI first makes perfect sense. And Microsoft, originally started with Windows, and they went to search engines. But Google dominates the search engine and online search market. Like, it's not even close, right? So, but introducing something novel as conversational search, right, which is enabled by ChatGPT powered AI, powered Bing, is something that brings excitement around the product, right? And if executed properly, it would help Microsoft gain some market share. So, yeah, so the GPT powered Bing launched in February 2023, and it was a shaky start, as the AI was pretty much like, there's pictures out there where it's essentially gaslighting people into believing like they're wrong, and more importantly, it was quite horrible, and still somewhat is horrible at like math and some other concepts, and it's just flat out wrong sometimes, and it's confidently wrong, which is the scary part. But this allowed, right, this novel launch allowed Microsoft to jump from 3.99 market share to a 9.19 market share in the online search industry, which is a decently large jump from the introduction of AI and Bing, especially in a market where Google is the powerhouse. So any kind of even a decent amount of shift, speaks volumes to what they're actually doing. So this was a perfect decision for Microsoft, because they are in the perfect position to try something rushed like this, right? This was sort of a rush thing, right? Because majority of the world's users are on Google, right? They're using Google. I don't know anyone that actually uses Bing. I'm gonna be honest with you. But if Google released something like this, right, this would be terrible, right? If it was if it had problems like what Microsoft kind of went through, then the search experience would be ruined for billions, right? We're talking about billions of people here, so it would be ruined, right? So Google, didn't immediately jump into this, right? But immediately after Microsoft brought this out, right, Google had a keynote about this, and they talked about Bard, right? And their own Bard model made errors in the keynote, right? So which is mostly beta right now. So that just shows like this AI is going to improve, but Google's definitely not the player that should be jumping into things, right? This is analogous to like Android versus iOS in some sense, actually, where like, Androids might have this feature like 10 years ago, right? And it might be rushed, and it might just work, right? Just so it works, right? But Apple does it in the Apple way, and it refines it, and it just makes it much more cleaner. So this is sort of like what Microsoft is doing. Microsoft is trying to be the Android in this space, and they're just trying to get in first and garner attention for Bing. So the investment that Microsoft had in OpenAI also allowed them to introduce Copilot through their Microsoft 365 suite. So the Copilot is essentially a personal chatbot for each application, and it can help answer questions as it has given some kind of context about various topics. So you could like upload things, or type in about like, what does this document mean, like how can I do some of these things, like if I was in Excel, for example, and I wanted to find the standard deviation or something, I didn't know the function, I could put that into that chatbot and it would give me a good answer. So the whole point of this was to boost employee productivity, right? And it makes work more efficient and helps achieve Microsoft's mission statement, again, which is to empower others. And a bigger thing for them is that it improves their internal efficiency, and so optimizes their processes, which leads to productivity gains and higher profits ideally, right? And the bigger part about this is it helps build Microsoft's garden. And so a garden kind of in tech is like the ecosystem. So how hooked are you really to that ecosystem? Like Apple, right? Apple has a huge ecosystem. And yeah, I'll make a video about that later, but Apple has a huge ecosystem, right? And once you're in, you can't really get out easily. So it's the same thing with Microsoft. If you are kind of addicted in some sense to that Copilot, you're not going to want to leave Microsoft's products, right? So internally, it helps them, right? It helps them gain profits. It helps that they can trap you into their suite because of your reliance on the Copilot. So another big thing about AI is that it introduced more AI functionality into Azure Cloud, which is Microsoft's cloud service. And so this allows more people to, deal with AI things in Azure, and that leads to faster and better advancement of AI because people have more accessibility to these tools, these products, right? And so the cloud market, which AWS kind of owns right now, but Microsoft is a close second, right? So the annual growth rate of the cloud market, because since everything now is kind of going online and everything is going to the cloud, the growth rate for this is around 20% through the next 7-8 years to like 2030, which forecasts the market size at 2030 to be around $2,430 billion. That is a huge market, right? So introducing AI, where Microsoft right now only has 23% market share and is trailing AWS by just, AWS is 32%. So it's trailing it by not that much. Introducing AI and introducing more AI tools can increase their market size, as AI is essentially kind of the future of most technology these days. So Microsoft is the catalyst behind this AI revolution right now, and it's perfectly positioned itself with the hype in order to garner massive press, right? The hype around ChatGPT, conversational AI, it's like a buzzword thing right now in the industry. So it's perfectly positioned itself in order to deal with, go with the flow in this hype, right? This hype train. So it gives the company now like a goal to push towards, right? Because Microsoft, it was just, it was doing its thing, right? It was kind of staying steady, being the tech giant that it is, it could kind of just stay steady. But now this tech giant is going into AI, right? And it's going AI first. That is their goal. So I would like to get some thoughts from you guys. What do you think? Will Microsoft be the tech giant to be in the tech space, or will history kind of repeat itself where a company like Google will just come along and absolutely eat up Microsoft's progress in this space, right? So yeah, let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like this video, share this video to other people, subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. Until next time.